Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Black Gold and thank you for coming back to my channel. I'm going to do a Dollar Tree book review. I think this is my first Dollar Tree book review. I've been holding on to this book for a while. I started reading this back in April. It was spring break. I picked up this. Carl Weber is the author. Big Girls Do Cry. It is a New York Times bestseller. It's what the Dollar Tree has this sticker on the back considering it was called cultural assorted. Nevertheless, I know of Carl Weber as being a very good writer, good author, and I wanted to grab this book. I've seen actually some of his books that were turned into movies on Netflix, like The Man in Apartment 3B. I saw that before I even read the book, and I just recently purchased that same book from the Dollar Tree, like recently, maybe 2-3 weeks ago. But this I got back in, it was March or April, because I took this with me on the kids' spring break trip. And I started it, got to read it, finished it up maybe. It took me about a month to finish it, in all honesty, only because of me not having time to do it and read it all at once. But it was a good book, so I want to talk about it a little bit. All right, this book originally priced was $15. I got it from the Dollar Tree for $1. I'm gonna go ahead and read the back of this book for you. It says, in this explosive follow-up to Something on the Side, 2 of the original members of the Big Girls Book Club have started a new chapter of BGBC in Richmond, Virginia. The same rules apply here. You must be at least a bodacious size 14 to join. It says, living in the plush suburbs, 37-year-old Egypt has it all, almost. She's happily married to Rashad, but there's one thing missing. They want to start a family. Enter her sister, Isis, who moved into Egypt's McMansion with dreams of starting over. There's just one hitch. Before her sister married Rashad, he was Isis's man for 10 years. Isis thought she was over him, but the close quarters are creating doubts. She's ready to leave until Egypt and Rashad ask her for a serious favor. And Isis can't say no, even if the price might be way too high for them all. Meanwhile, Lorraine, Egypt's boss and one of BGBC's newest members, may be in the running for her sorority's next national president. But Lorraine has secrets that could ruin her if they ever see the light of day. Now, these book lovers are about to learn that drama can follow you wherever you go, and that big girls do cry. All right, so that is just all of the back of this book that I just read to you. So, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear what I have to say about what happened, stop this video now. Go out and get Carl Weber's Big Girls Do Cry if you want to find out through reading it yourself what happens, because I'm getting ready to talk about it and tell you a little bit. Okay, so this book was really good, very enticing. So it spoke about Egypt and Rashad. Egypt is married to Rashad now. Previously, well, Egypt has a sister, her name's Isis, and Isis used to date Rashad. As you hear, they dated for 10 years. Well, now that when Rashad and Isis broke up, Rashad was so distraught, he somehow fell into the arms of Isis's sister, Egypt. Okay. Well, Rashad does well for himself. Egypt, she works as well, but they have a real nice home where they live. The only thing they don't have is a child. She cannot have a baby for him. So they asked Isis to have this baby for them. And not only that, but they had already had Isis living with them, because since Isis and Rashad broke up, Isis started messing with and dealing with like a married man. And so that is her man. She needed to like leave him alone. They would break up, whatever, etc. But Isis is living with her sister and brother-in-law. And because they had this previous relationship, her and Rashad, she still has this like in the back of her mind that she can get him from Egypt. And also being that she knows Egypt can't have a child, she's like, I could have Rashad's baby. So, you know, you can only think about what happens, what could play out with that type of scenario. So I'm not going to give you all the juiciness, but I will tell you that it was very intriguing to read, to see what happens. Let me talk to you about the next part that I read on the back of the book, which was Lorraine. Lorraine is Egypt's boss. And she also has this good friend who is a gay male man that works under her. And Lorraine is married to, Lorraine has a husband who they have this, he doesn't satisfy her, or hadn't been for a while. But she's always been madly in love with him. So Lorraine has her little bit of what's going on with her life in the book too. Lorraine runs this very successful company. She's part of the sorority, wants to become the president of the sorority, whatever chapter it is. And some issues that go on with her. Her husband, she ends up thinking her husband is cheating on her. They got into something where her husband had hit her. Well, she actually did the first hit. But she thinks all the stuff is her husband's doing, and finds out that it's actually her gay male best friend who has set up her husband to do these things. But you would not believe to the extreme that her gay male best friend went to set her husband up to be like cheating and so on. So, nevertheless, that are some of the juicy tidbits about this book. So I encourage you to go out and get Carl Weber's Big Girls Do Cry. Hopefully you'll find it at your DollarTree. Maybe if you don't, you can always pick it up from your local library. That's the best place. That's even better than buying it for $1. Because what do? We read these books. Some people read these books in a day, in a week, and then it's just laying around unless you pass it on to somebody else. So you might have to go pick it up and rent it from your library as well. But I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed the Carl Weber Big Girls Do Cry, and I can't wait to be able to come on here and do my next book review, my next DollarTree book review for you. So everybody, please leave your comments if you already read Big Girls Do Cry. I don't know if this is actually in film yet, because Carl Weber has a bunch of his books turned into movies on Netflix. They were on Netflix. But let me know what you saw, what you read. I would love it. I would love to hear about it and also know what you thought about this book yourself. You all take care. I hope everybody had an awesome day on purpose.